100.7 WXXP in Pittsburgh, Love, by The Cult. The album had come out on Beggar's Banquet. It was featured on Off the Boat with Bob Waugh on WLIR, and it instantly became a hit. The faithful just went crazy listening to Rain and Sanctuary and songs like that. We got a call from Seymour Stein from Sire Records, who very famously signed a lot of the artists that you heard us play, the Pretenders, the Ramones, Ministry, the Smiths, Depeche Mode. I could go on and on. Well, we got this phone call, and Seymour essentially was asking Dennis McNamara what he thought of The Cult. And the next thing you know, I'm on the phone with Seymour, who owns Sire Records. And to answer his question directly, I thought The Cult was fantastic. So Seymour signs the band to Sire Records, so now their American release, Love, comes out, and this interview was part of that tour supporting this record. Now let's get back to the interview, back to the music. It's DJ Bird doing an interview with Ian Astbury of The Cult from 1986 in the Birdcage. Here we go.
I'd like to speak a little bit about videos. My name is Bird. We're at LIR 92.7 speaking with Ian Astbury of The Cult. In dealing with videos, you also have to kind of combine the mental image that you get from a song and present it visually. How do you go about doing that?
Well, we decided, the first video we ever made was for Resurrection Joe, and it was absolutely appalling, really. It was so like we tried to act in it. It was just like terrible. It was like really bad. Billy was dressed up as a blind man, right? It was just a joke. We seen it. We just like wet ourselves laughing at it. I mean, it was good fun, you know. But we decided that we tried to conceptualise Resurrection Joe and make it into like a Victorian English type, Charles Dickensian type thing, you know, a Victorian English scene. And Resurrection Joe is supposed to be like a grave robber, but we turned him into this character of like resurrecting people's lives as opposed to like killing people, you know, and ripping graves off and that sort of thing. So that sort of element of a Victorian, you know, Burke and Hare, the famous grave robbers and all that from Victorian times. Anyway, after this conceptual video, we realised that this wasn't going to work. This was just silly, really. You know, we felt that our strength lied in our live performance, and not sort of like trying to use any other imagery except for what was already there. So that's what we went for with Rain and Sanctuary. We just wanted to show us in a sort of like a complementary setting, you know, but show the band performing live. So that's what we did, and I think the best video we have is for the song Revolution. I think that's our best video.
Really, that's one video that I haven't seen yet.
No, it hasn't been shown in the United States yet. It probably will be shown at some point in time now.
You also did a show at the Ritz in New York, which was recorded not only for an LIR radio concert, but also for a video presentation across the nation. And speaking with Billy Duffy on the telephone a while back, he said it was the first time you guys had actually seen yourselves play a whole show. What was your reaction to that?
Yeah, well, you know, it's quite weird. So like, there's elements of it we'd never seen before, and we really paid attention to it. I mean, it was the first time we'd seen ourselves with that sort of setting. I mean, we'd had done a live video before for Britain, but with that lighting and all that, sort of where we're at now, I don't think we really paid attention to the last video, but we learned quite a lot from this one. Just our stage presentation, lighting and stuff like that.
I see a hollow head, gun in hand, he points my way. Generally follows me everywhere and every day. I gotta get away. Now I'm looking in see a hollow man, gun in hand, it points my way.
Big Neon Glitter is another great track off the album, and it's kind of one of those slow rockers that builds and builds, and to the point where you don't know where to go next. I mean, you almost don't want to hear the rest of the record because it couldn't get any better. Tell me a little bit about Big Neon Glitter.
Big Neon Glitter was written in France on a European tour, and we just started jamming it. It sort of more or less came from a drum beat. But as with all our songs, Billy writes all the music and I write all the words. And it was just more of a jam type thing, but I had these lyrics that I'd written about when we were in Berlin. And so Berlin's like a really unique place. It's just a complete western. It's an advertisement to the east from the west sort of thing. It's like full of neon lights and big symbols like McDonald's and Mercedes-Benz and all these big western symbols and all that. So I was quite intrigued walking around Berlin and watching in the Berlin Wall and the sort of thing about being like an open plan prison, which is really like an advertisement, an open plan advertisement, right smack in the middle of the Eastern Bloc, So I was quite intrigued by that.
track it back. Why don't you track it back? For revolution without solution. As the wall gets taller, you get smaller. The fear is getting taller.
You open up your shows with the title track of the album, Love, and it's a real strong opening. Is Love, is that a theme? Is there a theme there, or?
No, I mean, we called it Love because it was just like a really positive song, and it was the most positive emotion that we could think of to complement the song. Now, I don't think there's much point in calling it The Brown Shoe when it's not about that, you know. And it's just like, it's not about love as in romance, it's just like love as in ambience, positive, you know, aspect of the word.
We spoke before about the video for Revolution. The track Revolution was your third single in England, and just starting to make it over here in the States. It's just coming over now. Yeah. Tell me something about Revolution. Is there a do you feel you're part of a revolution? Are you trying to start one? Is there?
Well, the thing about Revolution, it's more of a personal song about personal change, as opposed to like, well, for me anyway, you know. There's lots of different images in it, but basically the theme of it for me is about personal change, as opposed to like smashing down buildings and trying to change everything. I think this is like what we've inherited, so we might as well get on with it instead of crying about it, you know. It's not much point, it's not going to go away.
What these images mean, locked inside me, can't set the rainbows free, like perishing flowers, they sag and twist and die, beautiful friends, they've all gone away. Like the waves, they're blowing heaven's high. There's a revolution. There's a revolution. There's a revolution. There's a revolution, yeah. Joy and sorrow. What does revolution mean to you? To say today's like wishing in the wind. All my beautiful friends have all gone away. Like the waves.
Maybe you can give our listeners a brief explanation of what the video looks like.
Revolution. Well, Revolution's sort of like intercut with a bit of studio thing where we're sort of like sitting around. We're sitting around a really large yin and yang symbol, which symbolised revolution to me really well, you know. And we're like sitting around that just playing, and the rest of it's intercut with live footage, which is like really good live footage. It's very, very well filmed.
And who produces your videos, or do you guys pretty much take care of it yourselves?
Well, the first one was my idea, the Sanctuary one, to use the oil wheels and the Indians' faces, but the other two were Billy's ideas. Rain was his idea to use the girls in it and the sort of the ambience of that one, and also Revolution. It's his idea to like intercut live footage and, you know, and well, that was when we worked both on, because the studio idea was sort of like my concept and the rest of it was his concept. So it's like me and Billy we do pretty much 50-50 everything together, you know. It's like we bounce off each other a lot, and it's like really good. We like to work that way, you know, because we understand what we want to do, so it's like not much point letting other people get on with it. But the guy who directed the video, Tony Van Enden, he did like Killing Joke 80s and Brilliant and a few other things. He's quite good because he really interprets our ideas very well. In fact, he's sort of like, I think he superseded our expectations, you know.
I'd like to thank the Nassau Community College, everybody at WLIR and WXXP, Paul Kramer, Dennis McNamara, Seymour Stein of Sire Records, Billy Duffy and Ian Astbury of The Cult, and of course you, the listeners. It's why we do this. Don't forget, Dare to Be Different, the movie is coming out soon to a theater near you. It's going to be awesome, so make sure you see that. I'm DJ Bird, on behalf of everybody here at hockeybird.com who produced this. Thank you, and hope to see you again soon. Have a great one.